Okay, folks, before I say anything else, I need to apologize to Biff Bam Boom Comics because I told them that I was going to have my review of their Cody Valiant number 0 done by today, and I do not. I've had just so many things come up that it's been impossible. So, what I'm going to do first and foremost is if you're on YouTube, you should see a card appearing right about now that'll send you to my review of Interstellar number 0, which is the first of the offerings that Biff Bam Boom sent me to review. Please do check that out. And I've also added the link to where you can go to purchase Interstellar number 0 if you decide that that's something you want to pick up. So please do go and check out that review, and I will have Cody Valiant number 0 reviewed just as soon as I can. So sorry again, Biff Bam Boom. I will get that for you. Now, the reason I'm here right now is because I just came from watching the Dank stream by Jon Del Arroz, who is a Comicsgater, if I'm not mistaken, but at least he's an independent comics producer, and he also does reviews of pop culture and comics and such. And he had Eric July on his program. And one of the things that he said about Eric July's Isom number 1 was that he didn't see anything wrong with it, and it was a perfectly good book to him, and he thought, it was just a good book. And I thought to myself, how? how did he not like at least offer, maybe a little, something even along the lines of, well, it's got its quibbles here and there, but otherwise overall it's a good book. No, he just kind of looked at it as if it was just fine as it is. Like there's no problems. I thought, okay, I don't know how he gets that, how comes to that conclusion. And then later on in the video, he started promoting his own book, which is called Flying Sparks. Apparently, the last book in the Flying Sparks series is what he's promoting now. I decided to go ahead and take a look at the first book in the Flying Sparks series. And after looking at I want to say there was about 4 pages offered by Kindle, I now know why he didn't see any problem with ISOM number 1. It's because he probably doesn't see any problems with his own book either, even though they're there. So, I'm going to take you through the first couple of pages of Flying Sparks, which is available on Amazon, and I'll put the link to it in the video description just in case you want to pick it up for yourself. Apparently, it is the tale of a young woman who works for a mad professor, and she tests out his equipment by posing as the superhero Meta Girl. And she falls in love with a mobster who ends up with the ability to shoot lightning out of his hands. So, basically, this is a 2 people from each side of the superhero supervillain tracks who are also attracted to each other. And it's an interesting premise, and if it were, executed with quality, then, it might be something that I think was worth picking up. But I found enough in the first couple of pages that have warned me off. So let me go ahead and show you that on the first page, we have a snapshot of Metagirl plunging to her doom after having been hit by a thug of some sort. There's some thug up on the roof. So basically punches her over the roof. Now she does recover and fly back up to the roof and make short work of him, and finishes by saying, and that makes the first win for Metagirl. Maybe superheroing isn't so hard after all. And then we go to the next page, and you see from inside the building on the top floor, somebody saying, still no sign of your girlfriend? And then Metagirl, for some reason, has a caption saying, it's been a couple of days since I've seen Chloe, the girlfriend Paul mentioned. Okay, wait, what? All right, already I'm confused. Because why would she be saying that? I mean, is she able to hear what's going on inside the building? Or is this something that she learned about later on? And then I go one panel further, and I realize it says, I own this coffee shop, and I realize it looks strange to see a man in a designer suit behind the counter. And I'm still a little bit confused here, because is she saying she owns the coffee shop? And this guy behind the counter, who is he? Is that Paul? Is Paul the one who's talking to the guy at the register? And the guy in the suit says she's not answering her calls again. And this guy says, probably just studying, deceptively nerdy, that one. And then you go to the next the next panel down, and the guy is now somebody comes in from outside and says, Johnny Benavuti, or I don't even know how to pronounce that name. I'm not going to try. Johnny B, you've got superheroes fighting on your rooftop. Is this place even safe anymore? So, they're inside the building with the superheroes fighting on the roof and stuff. And this guy comes in, and now it seems clear where he's saying it's a front for the extracurricular business that really pays my bills. Now it's clear that it's the guy in the designer suit who's been the one talking all along. But that was not really possible to pick up just from this. Now, I know somebody's going to say, well, wait a minute. This is a blue caption box, and this is a green caption box. Don't you know the difference between blue and green? Well, if you're an experienced comic book reader, that might clue you in. But if you're a beginning comic book reader, nobody's going to know that. You're not going to know that a change in the color of the caption box means it's a change of the speaker. So that's one problem. But I'm an experienced comic book reader, so why did I have a problem with this? Well, I was reading this on the Kindle. It's the part of the Kindle sample on Amazon, and it goes page by page, and we don't have the ability to, look at 2 pages at once in the Kindle sample. So I see this, and the last caption on this page says, and that makes the first win for Metagirl. Maybe superheroing isn't so hard after all. So she's speaking with the caption right next to her. The next page, I'm supposed to remember that now the prior caption was blue and this was green? And what's more, the caption is right by her. So why wouldn't I just assume that, okay, they've changed caption colors for no reason, and she's still talking? Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with assuming that when you have a caption box next to the person who has just been speaking through a caption box next to herself, that she's still speaking, but she's not. There has been a change of characters, and we don't realize that. And when we get down into the next box here, we don't even really know who Paul is yet. The girlfriend Paul mentioned. Well, who's Paul? Is it the guy in the suit, or is it the guy at the counter? Now, the first sentence we get is, I own this coffee shop. But owners can also operate. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the guy on the right isn't the owner of the coffee shop. Because when he says, and I realize it looks strange to see a man in a designer suit behind the counter, okay, that still could be the guy on the right talking as opposed to the guy in the suit. So we've got these confusing captions going on, and it really isn't until the last portion of the page where you've got this guy coming in who needs something fenced, and we get the impression that it's been this guy in the designer suit that's been narrating the whole time. That's when we finally know, we start getting clued in, and now we have to go back to these scenes that we've seen and kind of figure out, okay, what the hell have I been reading all this time? So that is one of the major problems, is that going from page to page, we don't know that the speaker has changed, and going from panel to panel, it takes us about 3 or 4 panels before we can actually identify who the speaker is. And this is one of the things that is just very common to creatives who are doing comics for the first time. And, I don't know if this is his first comic that he ever published, or if he's done ones before Flying Sparks, but one of the things that the writers and the artists don't know is that the readers don't automatically know everything they know. And this is something that I brought up in my latest video talking about Eric July. This is something that happens in Isom quite a bit. So you've got to make sure everything is clear. Now, here's another thing that isn't clear. Where is this coffee bar? Because look where the dialogue balloon on this page is pointing. This is a multiple story building, but the dialogue balloon is pointing to the top floor. And when the guy comes in, he looks like he's coming in out of broad daylight. But you can't enter the building from broad daylight on the top floor. So where are they? Well, they're on the bottom floor, of course, because if you look at the windows, you can see the latticed windows It's more tightly latticed than those just two latticed windows up on the up on the top floor. Plus, you can also verify that from the windows down on the bottom. But we don't know that at first because look what's going on. You've got this dialogue balloon that's pointing to here. I hate to tell you that, but a dialogue balloon going into the building on the top floor means that whatever conversation is taking place is happening on the top floor. There is no other way to read that. You can't just say, well, this is dialogue that could be taking place anywhere in the building. Okay? So, I don't know. Yeah. This is why Jon Del Arroz didn't find anything wrong with Isom number 1, because apparently he's not capable of seeing it. And people like me are. So there you go. All right. And I just wanted to throw that out there because there's a lot of people out there who are thinking themselves experts on comics who really don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then they're just basically saying, oh, we can break all of these conventions. We can just throw information on the page and the reader will get it. The reader will get it. There's nothing that the reader needs to know from us. It'll just all psychically appear in the reader's heads. And it's just not true. So, anyway, I've got the, if this is something where you feel like you can struggle through it and you want to pick up a copy of it, I will put the affiliate link to the Flying Sparks #1 on Amazon, the volume 1 on Amazon, and please do check it out through there. But other than that, yeah, good luck with that. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if it gets any better if you manage to go through all the other volumes. But this is basically what I'm saying is like this is the kind of feedback that Eric Schley gets. Oh, I didn't see anything wrong with the book at all, said the blind man. I will talk to you later. This is Mike Partika. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm out.